Hello, everyone. My name is Jared, and the quote I chose was, "I miss you, but I miss sparkling," from the song Bejeweled. To me, this means to let go of the past and to embrace the future. Obviously, everyone has fond memories of the past. However, it can become a chain and hold you back. And so sometimes you have to break that chain in order to grow and become a better person. This story is about a boy named Thomas. Thomas was an average kid. He wasn't particularly popular, but he wasn't a wallflower kid either. His grades were average, his face was average. However, behind that seemingly ordinary kid was an extraordinary love for nature. From an early age, he would be dropped off at his grandfather's lodge in the wilderness during summer with his dog Sparky. The energetic trio would embark across endless acres of wilderness for hours on end. His grandpa would go on for hours, serenading the boy's ears with facts of the foliage, which things he could eat, what to avoid, and the animals. He would obsess over the animals as if they were guardians of the forest. He would tell tales of past hunting trips. Thomas's eyes sparkled like a night sky, wishing that he could be just like him when he grew up. At first, and as if on cue, his grandpa told him, "Tommy boy, when you're old enough, you'll hunt your first deer and become a man." A few years later, that would come. During Thomas's last high school winter break, he drove to his grandfather's lodge. By his side, Sparky wagging his tail. When they arrived, his grandfather greeted him with a smile warmer than a campfire. He handed him a rifle, and the three set out on a chilly winter morning. Their breaths hung in the air like clouds off a mountain. After a 2-hour hike, they picked up some deer tracks. Giving a brief whistle, Sparky then gave chase, his predatory predisposition propelling him towards his prey. For a few minutes, everything was still. It was suffocating. Then a yelp pierced through the silence. Tom leaped into action, running to the direction he thought Sparky was. He called his name over and over again, but he couldn't pin the sound. Tom's grandpa tried keeping up, but his body has aged over the years and he was frail, making it very difficult for him. When they finally got within a few yards of the commotion, the initial excitement of the day turned to dread. Crimson dots speckled the landscape before they turned into streaks, then puddles, and then a pool. A deer, and then a heaving mass of brown, a bear, and right there, Sparky in his jaws. Then the bear charged. Tom was paralyzed with fear. The gun felt like lead in his hand. Just when the bear was about to reach him, a shot rang out. A thump followed that, Sparky's body, and then another. The bear walked away. After coming to his senses, Tom looked back and saw his grandfather clutching his chest. Quickly, he grabbed Sparky and his grandpa and made the trek back to the cabin. A few weeks later, his grandpa would succumb from his condition. Tom's world was shattered, and his love of nature followed both Sparky and grandpa into the grave. He fell into a deep depression for months, not once stepping into nature, until one day he met a girl. They chatted a bit before they became friends, and then a couple. On their first anniversary, she brought him onto a hiking trail, and although he heavily opposed, he went anyways. After 30 minutes, she went to a tree and placed a single flower. Tom later found out that this was a memorial for her father. They used to go through that trek all the time, and that was to honor his memory. Slowly over time, he rekindled his love of nature and eventually worked up the courage to go back to that spot that haunted him for all those years, leaving 2 flowers propped on a tree. Their memory will never be forgotten, but it's time to move on. Thank you.